They need each other because they have different ideals. So the emphasis of the modern West has been on social justice, that we can restructure our institutions to make them more just. On the other side, though, the emphasis of Buddhism is on personal transformation rather than social transformation. And so the lecture will be about why these two projects need each other if they're going to be as successful as we need. Buddhism, the way it developed, it's focused almost completely on my own mind, my own suffering, my own karma. So it becomes very personal, very individual. And what is wonderful about the Western tradition, of course, is because of the Judeo-Christian tradition, we have this emphasis on social justice, the prophets, right? And because of this concern for social justice, and also the other root of the modern world is Greek, and they realized the possibility to restructure society, to create democracy. So when we bring these two together, the possibility that we can restructure society with the concern for social justice, this has been the real strength of the West, right? So then we get democracy, human rights, civil rights, anti-slavery movement, civil rights campaign. Now we have feminism, gay rights. We have achieved a lot. But also, we have a problem too, because sometimes we think it's enough just to restructure the institutions, but we also need to look inside ourselves and restructure our own mind, our own motivations, which is what Buddhism emphasizes. So that's why I think Buddhism and the modern world, they need each other. The two ideals really need to go together. You know, the heart of the Buddhist message has to do with the problem of dualism or separation. So basically Buddhism emphasizes that when I feel separate from other people and separate from the world, then it's a big problem. It causes suffering. And I think we can see now it's the same situation between humanity as a whole and the earth. We have the same sense of separation. And because we feel separate from the earth, we don't feel any responsibility. We use it, we exploit it, we make it dirty, we pollute it. So we really need to wake up and realize that we're not separate from the earth. The earth isn't simply our home, it's really our mother. And not only that, but we never cut the umbilical cord, yeah? We are part of the earth. We are an experiment of the earth. We are how the earth becomes aware of itself. So we have this responsibility to keep the earth healthy, and the earth will keep us healthy. Buddhism not only points out the problem of separation, but it gives us practices to overcome it. So especially Buddhism emphasizes that we need to deconstruct and reconstruct our sense of self so that we don't feel so separate. So we reconstruct how we live by changing our motivations. Buddhism emphasizes a lot that if we are motivated in what we do by greed, ill will, delusion, especially delusion of separate self, then it creates problems, yeah? Bad karma. So we need to transform our motivations from greed to generosity, from ill will to loving kindness, from delusion to wisdom. Especially the wisdom that emphasizes my well-being is not really separate from your well-being. So we have to work, we have to feel that we are part of each other. So that's part of it. That's the reconstruction. But the other message of Buddhism is that we need to let go of this sense of separate self. So that's why meditation is important. When we meditate, we can forget ourselves or let go of the sense of separate self. And then Buddhism emphasizes waking up and realizing that I'm not in here somewhere, behind the eyes or whatever, that I'm really one of the ways that all this comes together. and so are you, and so is everyone. And when we realize this, then we realize that we're not separate from each other, and we need to work and live together to make this place better for all of us. Well, it's interesting. My own teacher was a Japanese Zen master, and he had many students from Europe. Many of them were Christian priests, sisters, ministers, because they felt that the contemplative tradition in Christianity has pretty much died out. I mean, in the Middle Ages it was quite strong, but more recently we have lost it. So the importance of Buddhism is Buddhism, of all the world traditions, maybe has the greatest collection of meditative practices, contemplative techniques that can help us transform ourselves. And of course, there are many different possibilities there, so we have to choose carefully.